My name is Susie Hutton, and this video is about how to closed caption videos inside YouTube. I'm inside YouTube right now. You can see that I'm signed into CSU extension, so you'll want to sign into your own channel before you get started. Next, what I'm going to do is go up to the icon of my username and then go to YouTube Studio Beta. And then over here, I think what's easiest to do is to go down to Creator Studio Classic, just because that gives you the video manager, which is over here in the left. That gives you all of your videos in a list. And so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to look through and find the video that I'm wanting to close caption and click on that. I can do this a few different ways. I can click on it here on the title and go down to subtitles and CC, or what I can do is go back and then under the edit tab, you can also find subtitles and CC there. When you upload your video, it may take a few minutes, but what you should see if you're going to close caption dialog is this English automatic setting. If you don't see that, then that means that YouTube has not found or has not recognized voice or dialogue inside your video, which can be caused by a few different things. One is if the dialogue does not start within the first minute or so, YouTube will assume that there is no dialogue, and so it won't create automatic closed captioning. The other reasons, it might be just very low quality audio, and so the computer may not be able to recognize or distinguish the voices. And that can be like your audio levels are too low, or there's a lot of background noise. There's a lot of different things that can cause that. So what I like to do is start with the English automatic. And the reason I like to do that is because it gives me a head start on creating closed captions. It's already written out a lot of what's in here, and then it's just my job to go through each little segment and make sure that that's accurate. And also to remember that we're trying to make these closed captions as concise and clear to read as possible. Up here you can see there's a little blank section, so what I'm going to start to do is play it. I know there's music right there, so I'm holding down the Alt key and then on the number pad just putting in 1-3, just to denote that there is music in this section. So one thing that YouTube does not do, it won't put in any punctuation. It doesn't always get the word right, so it's really important that you go through each section and make sure that the words are right and that the sentences end where they should. So for instance, right here, my should be capitalized. My name is Brenda Francis. Okay, so then that is the end of that sentence. The other thing that I'm going to do is where I can, where it's possible and makes sense, I don't want more than one block of text in here. So what I'm going to do is go back up to my first tab and I'm going to hit the enter key, and then that will make a second tab. So now it should start like this. Okay, so then the next thing that I want to do is make sure that it's all timed up right. So I think that's about where it starts. So I'm just going through, holding down my left button on the mouse and then dragging it over to scrub this little closed caption tab over. You can also, if you want to, use the time codes up here to reset them. Generally, I think it's just easier to use this. And so that's basically what I'm gonna go through. I'm just looking that the words are spelled right, that there's not too lines of text, which it often does in YouTube, and then just also making sure that there's punctuation and clear, concise sentences as it makes sense. And I'm just gonna keep going through that until I get to the end. Okay, so I'm done with that, and then I am going to go up to save changes, and that's gonna keep all of the changes that I've made. So the first thing that you're gonna do when you go in to edit your closed captions, just go through and make sure that all of the grammar, the words, the spelling, the punctuation is right. And then after that, you can start making a few other changes. So in this video, we have one speaker, Brenda Francis, who you don't see the whole time. There's some intercut shots of her surroundings. So for those, when the speaker is off camera, we're gonna put in brackets who's speaking so that it's not confusing. And then the second thing is that sometimes in this video nobody is speaking and all we can hear is some non-lyrical music. So for that, I'm gonna put in the title and then artist name. So when I'm going through that, just to remind myself where that is, I will put in little music notes, and then I can go back and put in the information that I need to. So in those instances, I'm gonna put in quotations, Spring Feeling, which is the name of the song, and then by Bob Bradley and Matthew James Parker. Alright, so then I'm just gonna do Control C for copy, and then go down to each little music note and paste it in. Okay, so that's done. And then the second thing is I'm going to go through, just kind of scrub through the timeline. I know that there's a lot of B-roll or shots laid over this interview, so in those instances, I'm going to put in her name. I'm just gonna keep going through that until I get to the end. Okay, so I have gone through, and as I went through, I also found a few more capitalization errors and some timing issues, but generally it was just going through to put in brackets Brenda Francis's name when she was not on camera, and then also the Spring Feeling song with the artist during those cuts where no one was speaking. So now that I'm done and I'm sure it's what I want, I'm going to go up here to save changes. And then to publish it, I'm going to go down to the English ones and click that. And then you can see that the changes that we made with the punctuation and grammar and spelling and everything that we just did is in here. So it's grayed out now. So in order to see it again, I'd hit edit. And then the next thing that I like to do is go over to Actions, and I'm going to download. So what that's going to do is it makes a little notes file that I can open in Notepad, and it gives me a document that has all of the transcriptions that I just did with the time code that's been edited in each one. And I think it's a good thing to save these just in case it's something that you need to reference later, or say I just uploaded another version of this video with Brenda Francis, but I wanted to change the music. Then I could just upload the video, then upload these captions, and instead of having to go through and start all over with the grammar and the punctuation, I could just go back through and just change the closed captioning for the music. It might also be good for record keeping or referencing for a document that you're writing instead of going back to YouTube and finding it there. So save that wherever you want to. The next thing I'm going to do is hit this arrow back over to the video manager. I know that now the closed captioning is embedded in the video because it has this little CC icon next to it. So that means that the closed captioning is ready to go. And that is how you close caption videos. I'm also going to show you real fast another way to do it, just in case you wanted to. So I'm going to click on this video and go over to subtitles and CC. And instead of clicking this one, Japanese automatic, I'm not really sure why it thinks this is in Japanese. There's actually no dialogue on this video, so that's interesting. But I can go over to add new subtitles in CC and hit English. And then I'm going to go over to create new subtitles or CC. And then what that does is it just gives me kind of a blank slate so that I can manually write in the closed captioning that I want to. I did start this way when I was just starting to close caption videos because I thought it was easier, and I've switched over to using the automatic transcriptions first and then editing those because it's faster. But I just wanted to let you know that manually putting them in is an option if that seems simpler to you. And you'd go through the exact same thing. So you can scrub the timing or edit, and then you'd save your changes and download your transcription once you're done. So that is everything on how to create closed captions inside YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.